Hello, I'm Dr. Christy Huddleston, the Southeast District Superintendent. Thank you for joining us for an overview of returning to school for school year 2021. I hope you'll find this information provided today very beneficial in assisting you with making a choice for the best educational setting for your children. This past Wednesday, each school posted a snapshot of the strategies they're implementing in their school for a safe and healthy return. We want to take this opportunity to provide some clarifying points and then have a question and answer session with parents through the DoDEA Southeast District Facebook today from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. We are excited to get started for school year 2021. So our topic of discussion today is making a choice. Our parents have a choice between option 1, in-person learning with remote learning in local schools, or option 2, virtual learning in the virtual school. So it's important for us to understand what is involved in these two options. For in-person learning, that means students are in brick and mortar in their school building receiving instruction from their assigned teacher. So, what is remote learning? Remote learning are students receiving their classroom curriculum and instruction from their assigned teacher in the brick and mortar school through digital programs when local health conditions don't allow us to have in-person, face-to-face learning. So, here's an example of how it is interchangeable. So, if the installation is in HPCon Alpha or Bravo, the child will go to their regular local school. If conditions are in HPCon Charlie, then the school brick and mortar will close and students and faculty and staff will flip to remote learning. So let's say the school year starts in HPCon Charlie. Then that means students and faculty and staff will start school in remote learning, and as soon as the HPCon conditions allow, we will flip back into the brick and mortar in-person teaching and learning in the school building. So they are very interchangeable. The thing that's alike about both of them is that your child will maintain their teacher assigned to them in the local school. However, there'll be no time where we will be in both in-person learning and remote learning with the local school. It will only be one or the other, and it'll be based on the HPCon conditions at the installation. So what is virtual learning and how is it different? So students have to register for the DoDEA virtual school. Remote learning is with their locally assigned teacher in their local school. Virtual learning is where you register for the virtual school and their teacher will be from the virtual school, not from their local school. So virtual school, the principal of the virtual school is Dr. Terry Marshall, and she's our Principal of the Year for DoDEA. And virtual school will remain in virtual learning regardless of HPCon conditions. So whether the installation is Alpha, Bravo, or Charlie, if your child is enrolled in virtual school, then they will remain in the virtual school for the first semester, which if you're in the elementary school, that would be 2 report cards to 9 weeks. Or you can also choose for the full school year. And they will have registration window open for people who want to register for second semester as well. So for more information about how to make a choice between in-person learning with the possibility of having to go to remote learning, or in remote learning with the possibility of going back to in-person learning, or if you want to enroll in the virtual school where no matter what the HPCon conditions are, you would stay in virtual learning, then you can go to the DoDEA website, and you can see at the very bottom the DoDEA website, and you click on Making a Choice. And at the very bottom of that page has the information for registering for virtual school. So remember, if you don't want your child to return to the brick and mortar school building at any time, then you would opt for the virtual school. However, if you want your child to come back to a school in the school building as soon as conditions allow, then you would opt for the in-person learning, and you just register for school just like normal, and just with the understanding that based on conditions, they may be in the brick and mortar building sometimes, they may be in remote learning sometimes. I hope that clarifies that.
Hi, I'm Greg Bull, the Southeast District Chief of Staff. The principals have put a lot of work into preparing for the learning options that we're going to brief you on today. And it continues to be a team effort among the district leadership, DoDEA's finance and business operation partners, as well as our installation commands and their health and safety teams. This collaboration has put us in a position to provide your students with safe and healthy options for learning.
Hello, my name is Dr. Lisa Brooks Coleman, and I am the Georgia-Alabama Community Superintendent. I'd like to take a few minutes and speak with you about the virtual school option. Parents have an opportunity to select the virtual school. DoDEA is providing a full-time virtual learning option for students and families that have health vulnerabilities as is related to COVID-19. These families may also have some concerns about students returning to the brick and mortar setting. So as a result, you have the option of registering your child for the virtual school. If you select the option for the virtual school, please know that that is a semester commitment with the option to register for a full year. There will be a window of time for parents to register for the virtual school for the second semester. Parents be reminded that the virtual school has a non-traditional schedule, no bell schedule. Students who participate in the virtual school will need to have a laptop. If students do not have an adequate laptop or a computer at home, students may check out that resource from their local school. Our students who are served in our special education program also have the option to select the virtual school. Those students will receive their education and instruction as a partnership with the local schools for certain services. Those services are OT, occupational therapy, PT, physical therapy, and speech. The virtual school and the virtual school staff will be looking at IEPs and 504s with parents and case managers to ensure the most appropriate instruction. If you need more information about the virtual school, please go to our DoDEA website and look for the tab Virtual School or Virtual Option. You will find additional information there in relationship to the virtual school. Please don't forget that the deadline to sign up for the virtual school is July 28th. Please go to our website, listed here, look under the tab Making a Choice, and make the selection for the virtual school by July 28th. That's the deadline. July 28th is Tuesday.
Hi everyone, my name is Josh Adams. I am the new community superintendent for the Kentucky schools at Fort Campbell and Fort Knox. I'm so excited to work with you. Thank you for the warm welcome I've received from so many of you. I'm going to be speaking to you a little bit about some of the frequent questions that you might have about the in-person portion of our return to school plan. So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is some questions that have come up around safety measures. First of all, you might ask, where can you receive information? Always go to the DoDEA Return to School website. It is a wealth of information. And then this week, each school in the district posted on Facebook presentations and videos of their return to school preparations. It shows classrooms, lunchroom, entrances, all kinds of things you want to know. So please refer to those on your school's Facebook page. All the schools are preparing hard for the return to school. They're working with installation partners to review their plans and make sure that everything is done according to DoDEA guidelines and the best information and support we can get from the installations as well. Now, masks and social distancing. In your classrooms, we will social distance if possible. In many, many cases, classrooms are now set up so that students will be able to social distance. When that is not possible, students will wear a mask in class. That's the bottom line information you need to know about that. What happens if there's a positive COVID case? Any positive case will trigger a joint risk assessment done by DoDEA and our installation partners. And DoDEA is prepared, after reviewing that risk assessment, to take all the appropriate steps needed up to closing school if necessary. Communication in that instance will be coordinated between DoDEA leadership and installation command to staff, parents, and students. The last, you've already heard about this, but the best way you can help the schools is by pre-screening, doing those key things in the morning to make sure you don't send your kiddo to school if they have any potential for being sick. Keep them home. Other frequent questions that have came up. First of all, will students have recess? Will they get a chance to run around? You bet they will. The schools are going to work to see and make sure that we can have social distancing, and masks will be worn if that can happen, but we want the kids outside getting exercise at the elementary level so that they're not sitting in the class all day long. That will happen. Buses. Social distancing and masks will be worn at bus stops. We'll need your help with that. We can't put a staff member at every stop. And students will wear masks on buses. That is critical. If by chance you have a student with a unique situation and they cannot wear a mask, work with the transportation department in your school to make that work. Last, make up work for student absences. If any case arises where your student is absent, in particular if you're exercising caution due to potential illness, the school will work with you to make sure that the work is done, it can be turned in on time, and that there's no penalty for late work. So there you go. There's some of the key questions to answer about in-person learning, and I'm excited to answer more of them as you put them in the chat box. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Brian Perry. I'm the Community Superintendent for South Carolina Fort Stewart Schools, and today I'm going to talk to you about our remote learning option. So as Dr. Huddleston mentioned, if we are in health pecan conditions Charlie at our installations, our schools would open in the remote learning option. First thing I want to talk to you about that the remote learning option and the virtual school option are not the same thing. In the remote learning, our instruction is delivered by the local classroom teacher. Now, that will be the same teacher that your student will have if we transition back to the brick and mortar. So again, the same teacher is providing that instruction and those activities. In terms of teacher training, our DoDEA teachers have been trained to use a variety of digital tools. They've also been trained in how to provide instruction in this digital format. Each school will have a digital platform and a landing site, and our schools will be using Google Classroom or Schoology to provide activities and assessments to our students. It's important to know that in the remote learning, our schools and our teachers will be using the DoDEA digital and curriculum resources for the remote learning. These are the same resources as the in-person. So if we do transition back to in-person or have to transition to remote learning, the resources that the students will be using are the same. So that is consistent for the students. In terms of grading, to remain consistent, the grading will be the same in the remote learning as it will be in the in-person. And this will be developed by schools at the local level with teachers. Also, schools will provide a consistent schedule for synchronous, those live sessions with teachers, and asynchronous assignments. And schools will provide expectations concerning screen time for students. We realize that students cannot sit in front of a computer for 8 hours a day. So schools provide those consistent expectations for a grade level bands, how much time students should be in front of the computer with screen time for those synchronous live sessions. Again, for more information, I know we've talked about this, so if you want to any more information about return to school, you can go to our website. You see it down here at the bottom, DoDEA /return to school. Please visit the website for more information. And again, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day and spending some time with us, watching our video. And then we are going to be online answering your questions from 3 to 4 Eastern, 2 to 3 Central. Thank you, and please ask your questions, and we'll be online to answer those again. Thank you.